I swear, normally this talking thing comes very easily to me. I have absolutely no idea what is wrong with me tonight, and I apologize so heartily in advance, because I'm going to edit this clip and put it at the beginning. Jeez, beat. I've been doing this for like 3 hours. Oh my god. Oh, here's a good video idea. How about I edit my paper and you guys can just watch and I'll make funny comments. Hannah Gregg's The Fairy Tales of the Brothers Grimm. Oh. Remember that awesome video I made about food guns? I can whistle with my hands is what I'm showing you right now. It's Charlie's fault. He makes these songs and it just throws me off. Now I don't really want to say this, I feel it's like kind of a controversial opinion. Like 4 books is how I would describe the libraries in Germany. Because in my mind it's kind of like walking into somebody's house and being like, why, sir, your collection of books is terrible. Like 4 books and they're not in alphabetical order. Okay, let's back up. If you were setting up a library, for instance, what would be the first thing you would do? Now, my answer would be put the books in a certain order. Maybe by author, that's always a popular one. Maybe by genre, also popular. Or, and I'm just spitballing here, by genre, and then further within that genre, by author. Seems like a good system. Or even, you know what? Let's go crazy. By title. Let's just say that you're putting your books in order by title. It's a completely legitimate way to organize a library. Just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean that others can't. I mean, what am I, the library Nazi? No, I'm not. That being said, I do expect some sort of order in my library. And I'm going to, feel free to disagree, but I'm going to claim that one of the ways you shouldn't organize a library, and please stop me if I'm wrong, is the order in which you bought the book. A system I can only describe as piles of books. So I wanted to get a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I go online, I'm responsible. I look up where to go find it, and it's in Neukölln, which doesn't mean anything to you. The library's on top of a mall, like they all are. Actually, not even on top of the mall. It's on top of, there's the mall, and on top of the mall is the parking garage, and on top of that is the library. I ride in the elevator with a man with just 1,000 shopping carts, and I don't know where he could possibly be bringing them, because he doesn't get off at the top floor, so who knows. And I go to the library. There's this weird thing, and it might just be me, I don't know. Every time I go into a store with like a big bag, just nobody cares. They're just like, whatever, you have a big bag. People have bags. But if you go into a library with a bag, God help you, sir. You had better have €1 to put into the locker, because you are not bringing that bag into a library. So I'm in the library. It's towel day. And I put my towel and my bag and everything in the locker number 42, which I chose special for this occasion. And I go into the library to the Bibliothek section, which means fiction, to find this book. Now the fiction section isn't that big, because libraries here, for some reason, they just don't carry books. And it's not there. So I'm like, well, maybe they have a science fiction section. I'm not going to give up. I find the science fiction section. It's like a shelf, like they always are. And I see Atoms up at the top. The first one, Atoms. And it's only like it's the 3rd book in the series, I think. The 3rd or the 4th one. I can't remember which one, because the titles are in German. I take that book off the shelf, and I hand it to the information lady, and I ask her very nicely in broken German if she has any other books by the same author. And she sees it, and she's like, yes, and she reads off a list of the books. And I say, okay, yes, I know, I looked it up online as well, but I can't find them on the shelf, could you please help me? And she's like, well, let's go have a look, which I thought was very helpful. And she's like, well, did you check in science fiction? And she points to the shelf, and I say, yes, ma'am, I did check in science fiction. That's where I found this one. And she's like, oh, well, did you check in the second shelf of science fiction? And I said, well, no, because I looked in the A's, where atoms would be, and it wasn't there. And she's like, oh, these ones aren't categorized by author. And so she and I spent 10 minutes looking through a shelf of unorganized books. So we're looking at the shelf, she and I, through all of these books, and we can't find it. So she directs me toward these books, the entertainment books. So if it's not here in this pile, which you can never find it in because it is not organized by author, subject, or title, then it might be on our display shelf, which is just a wall of just books. And if it's not there, then we've probably lost it, and sorry about that. I just needed this book. So I spent like an hour, maybe hour and a half, looking for it through the unorganized science fiction section, the display, which was the display was easier because they were all facing face out and they were just on a wall, and the entertainment books section. I eventually did find it, kind of panic like a mad woman if you're going into a German library. I just can't talk about the ill-organized libraries anymore. It's just breaking my heart. Maybe more people would read if they could find books. I just really like reading, guys, is I think what you should get from this video. Okay, y'all, well, that's all I have for you. I'm sorry it wasn't more entertaining. Usually I spend quite a bit of time and effort making these videos. Not that I don't love you guys. I just wanted to watch Dirk Gently more. And I promise that next week I will leave the apartment and I will have my friends do something in Berlin that is both exciting and enlightening. And I will record it so you can watch it. And I will be presentable for the internet because it is 5 ever. Here's looking at you, Luff Underground. Have a good night.